And we are live. How about that for being semi kind of consistent? This is Live with Gres on the Gres channel. Gres. Obviously, you know the spelling if you're here. And I hope all is well. Let's go into it. Let's jump right into it. Let's first make sure how I'm sounding here. Let's see here. Let's see how we're sounding. Let's make sure we're on the air first of all. Or if we're talking into outer space. Hello. Make sure how I'm hello. Hello. Yes. Do you hear me? Do you hear me? All right. See how we're sounding. Let's make sure we're on the air first of all. All right. We're up and going. How about them apples? So how have you guys been since the last time I left you? And again, what this kind of live stream is we kind of touch base, pop culture stuff, what stuff that's in the news, stuff that's on my mind, dad life, parent life. So I know most of you, if not all of you guys, are parents. So we talk a little bit about that, how my week was, odd little things about my week that I think would be interesting to share with you guys and have a chuckle and a laugh and just, talk about, everyday occurrence, everyday life, pop culture news, touch base on that, with a finger quote comedy spin on things. So, yeah, so far I uploaded a Eddie Money video. He actually, for a time being here, grew up in a neighboring neighborhood of, that's fairly close to me. And then we also went to a neighborhood a little bit further out, but it's also a neighborhood I am very familiar with, and it is also a neighborhood that I'm interested in living with myself there as well. And actually, right? They say things sometimes happen for a reason. Well, I had that property out there in the same place that you see in Levittown, and unfortunately, I was gonna buy a property there, and COVID happened right around that same time that COVID happened. Like no one seen it coming, and then it's like you forward with the property. Do you because and the media hyped everything up and scared us all, and it was right at the beginning of things, and you didn't know with this virus what was going to happen. Would people be losing jobs? Would businesses be shutting down? And that happened to a point, and everything started coming back together again. Hindsight is 2020, like they say. But if I would have gone through with that transaction, we would have been okay. COVID or no COVID, knowing what I know now and how things played out, thankfully. But I just always drive by that property. Even look it up. I'm like, maybe this guy will sell it again. I'm telling you, we put in the offer on the property. Split level house, beautiful house, move in ready. You really didn't have to do much work at it, of it at all. The couple that owned it was an older couple So they, took care of the property very nicely. Had everything updated. Master bedroom was just, you walk up a couple of like 2 or 3 stairs, gigantic, gigantic, and yeah, I mean, so it's in the neighborhood of where Eddie Money also grew up in Levittown, which is, you know, um, about it was about maybe 40 minutes away from Woodhaven, which is where he started off, and then his family moved to the burbs. So check out that video. I think you will definitely enjoy it. If you've never heard of Eddie Money before, man, definitely check out some of his clips. Eddie Money he was a great musician, and he would always come back he never forgot his roots, right? So he would always come back. I remember as a kid, as a teenager, he'd always come back to Eisenhower Park, which was located in Long Island, next to, like in that Westbury, East Meadow, Levittown, Bethpage area, big park, Eisenhower Park. Actually, they're pretty famous recently for like having a lot of summer concerts, and you know. But he never forgot his roots. He'd always come back. There was even, I think, when he had his reality show, I believe it was a reality show, where he would also, he came back into his Woodhaven neighborhood, and he kind of explained, how the neighborhood has changed, and back then, it's a lot different than it is now. And I said this in my video that a lot of the families that lived there, like I remember my old block, like there were a lot of kids on my old block, and everyone moved away slowly but surely. Everyone would move to the suburbs, because what has happened in the town that I grew up in, towns like Woodhaven, Richmond Hill, in and around that area, Glendale, because it's so close to the city at that time, and has access to Manhattan quickly via train. A lot of people, a lot of working class families that lived in the city would move here, and then it got too crowded for everyone, and then everyone started moving out in the suburbs, and they didn't mind the commute, right? So that's how the neighborhood changed, and it became crowded. It became overcrowded. In the suburbs, it's a lot different. It's not overcrowded like it is in this area. Families, you have two family. They were mostly two-family homes. There are some two-family homes, some single-family homes. But now people have, the majority of these homes didn't have driveways, so everyone would have to park on the street. And now people have 3 or 4 cars in their household, and 3 or 4 cars in the household. Try, you're parking that on the street. It's like good luck, and sometimes you have alternate side parking to deal with. Depending where you are, you might have to stay in that car for an hour to move your car. That way you don't get ticketed, and you're able to find a spot because there's nowhere to park. And if you want to rent out you could rent out a garage, but good luck finding it, because that neighborhood doesn't have many situations like that. So if you're renting out a garage, a driveway, you might be walking a little bit of a distance to where you live. So yeah, anyway, that is about the video that is posted, is uploaded. a good half an hour. It's a little bit longer of a video, but do check that out. And yeah, this is just to give you an idea of how the neighborhood has changed since Eddie grew up there. And it's a lot different time, a lot different neighborhood, where Eddie started with, and I go over that in the video. So enough of that. Now my kid is back in school. That's a positive. If you remember the whole diatribe that I made last video, which was a half an hour, and it was just basically a dad video, a parent video, which will happen every once in a while depending on how the week goes. And believe me, I do plan on having this weekly. I do have 2 videos that I post weekly, or that I try to post weekly, 2 of them, plus this live stream podcast, whatever you might want to call it. So that would make it a total of about 3 videos a week, give or take. Hopefully I could keep this portion of it up where I could do this every week. But yeah, so my kid goes back to school. Okay, I remember in that diatribe in that last video that I made, I was saying how we spoke with the teachers because he had just come back from a sickness, because this is his first time starting school. Last year it was the whole remote learning COVID thing, and keep in mind he's 4, so this is pre-K, and 3K was last year. I don't know if you guys have 3K out there in your area, but so 3K was all remote learning. Now they're in-person learning. Okay, so he's never been around kids, and I explained this in the last video. Really, it's a brand new thing for the guy, right? So he just he's first time. He's long story short, he was going through his 3rd sickness already since school started in September. He's really trying to get used to it. And the week before, we explained to the teacher, listen, okay, because they sent us a big to-do email about someone, my parents telling the teacher, please don't have him run, or they were saying through the gate as they were watching him during recess, they came to stop by, wanted to see their only grandson, said, Lucas, slow down, no running, because this guy, he sweats up a lot, right? Make in mind, he hasn't been around kids, he's excited, he wants to play with them, so he's sweating up, he's sweaty. And then when he goes back in, you have the AC on in school, you have the fan on, you have the window wide open, a little wind here and there, and next thing you know, he's sitting in his sweaty clothes, he starts coughing, sneezing, sickness. When that email happened on Friday, lo and behold, he was sick. So guess what? School that looked at us that like we had 5 heads in what we were saying, where he cannot run, where they said, oh, you need a pediatrician note as to why your son can't run. And we're trying to explain to them, come on, this is why, and I hope you understand. It's like common sense. Doesn't so he got sick again, out a week, another week, started school back again this week. So we're at Tuesday right now, right, as of this recording, or Wednesday already. So he's been, today he started little cough, little sneezes, still not enough where you're looking at it and you're saying to yourself, oh God, he's fully sick again, he's sick again. It's just like, oh, a little bit of alarming, a little bit of and here we go again, right? and I know this is just a this is probably just an adjustment for him. He needs to build up his immunity. But and listen, I get it. A lot of parents, a lot of families have to work double, have to have two jobs. They have to go to work. Luckily, it has worked out for me where ever since COVID, it's not even a requirement to go in now. Now I'm pretty much fully remote. Like my company, which is a big company, has figured out how to make this whole remote thing work where everyone just we're functioning great working remote. So, I don't have to commute, I don't have to travel. So, luckily I am uh, here all the time in case, and when he has to stay back, right? When he can't go to school. So it works out, right? So, but I know people have to go to work and their kid could be sick and they're going to send them to school, sick or not. He could be not fully over his cold or cough, and they send him to school, and that's what I worry about. That it's going to be a vicious cycle of just germs going all over the place. Hey, parents, I know it's tough, but keep your germy kid in school, please. I mean, not in school. Keep him home. Find a babysitter. Find a cousin, a brother or sister, a grandparent that can watch your kid. Because he has to be fully healthy. Because if he doesn't heal, if he's not fully healthy, it will just be a constant circle of germs being spread. I'm like, honestly, at this point, I'm like, is it even worth it for 4K, where basically all you do is run around and play? And listen, I know it gets you prepared for kindergarten, which is a little less of play and a little bit more of work with homework. But it comes a point, and I just wait where you feel like you're honestly gonna lose your gray hair, right? And I know this is the rite of passage of being a parent of a toddler, or soon to be 5-year old, and I know this is commonplace because everyone goes through that, but it's just like, wow, like, like honestly, does it get any better? Does it get any better? Hopefully, you will. And his face, thankfully, has finally cleared up. His face was because the weather is so crazy. Like you don't even really even know how to dress your kid, right? Because 1 minute it's hot, then it's cold, then it's hot again, then it's cold again. But a week or two ago, that's when it was still mostly hot, and over here in New York, they have this the mask mandate where you have to wear a mask, and the kid was wearing a mask. Pretty much, they wear masks the whole day, and his whole face broke out like a 13-year-old teenager. So he had that going for him, and he also like kind of like broke out in hives and was scratching and itching, which is almost seemed like it was something viral that was going on in the classroom. That is pretty much fully gone. So, geez, man, it's just been one thing after another. One thing after another. Ah, man. We went to Costco, moving on. Went to Costco this past weekend, and nothing ever good comes out of Costco, right? I mean, You go in there, spend money, spend more money, spend more money, spend more money, and then you wait online for long, long lines because it's always busy. Well, thankfully, we avoided the busy part. Um, we went a little bit later on in the day, like actually in the evening before closing, which was smart move. High five. That's a tip to you. And it wasn't on a Saturday or a Sunday, obviously. I'm sure you guys know the secret. Try to get there Monday through Friday in your closing time, and your shopping experience will be a lot less painful after you spend a ton of money um, buying stuff. Because you know how the saying goes, I'm only coming in for one thing, and then your whole shopping cart is completely full. So now we did that whole experience, and D. While my wife was shopping around in Costco, and I was saying to myself, all the pain that will happen at the cash register. I listen to my wife, and sometimes you should not listen to your wife. Check out this deal that I found in Costco. There was, let's see here. There was let me try to find a video of it where this piece guaranteed would probably, and because because we're nearing the end of, because basically Halloween is here. It's approaching, so it was considerably less. It was like maybe $70 where it would normally be this type of a selection would normally run about 140. So I'm paying half for it. It's a Halloween animatronic. Like, when you have a kid, like my kid watches the YouTube videos, and like he's watches like the animatronic videos that are out there with all the decoration, and the boy wants it, so I'm like, why not get an animatronic? So I got one, and then we got one of the inflatables here. It's like a ghost inflatable. It's nice. I mean, it's nice for the space that we have, and we also have a Night Stalker animatronic. Now I'm kicking myself because this animatronic that I seen in Costco was like 140. I listened to my wife, and I didn't buy it, and I could have bought it, and this thing would have been a hit. If I entered in our house for a Halloween best of looking house deal thing, we would have won. Check this thing out, please. Hold on.
Imagining how full the car looks after 20 minutes in the store. Look at those animatronics, Luke. So $70, that's not bad.
So yeah, if you've seen that video, it was here's more of it. So if you got a good look at it, it's Here Comes the Bride. I believe it's Here Comes the Bride, right? And it was Mr. Skeleton and Mrs. Skeleton. And then it sang that, and Mr. Skeleton was holding Mrs. Skeleton. And that's how it's set up. And Here Comes the Bride. And it was singing, I Got You, Babe. Are you kidding me? What? Are you kidding me right now? That would have been phenomenal. I would have won that. You don't see that anymore. I mean, it didn't look like the strongest of animatronics, but you would be gentle. You would be careful with it. And my wife said, no, we don't have any space. Never listen to the wife. Not in this case, anyway. A deal. That is, she's like, well, we're going to keep it. I'm like, we're going to find a spot to keep it. And I'm kicking myself for not getting that animatronic. Oh, that video that you've seen there was my boy. He loves Costco. Mainly, he loves Costco because he always expects to see a car there, like one of those heavy die-cast cars. Because he went there, there was one time that he went there, it was around the Christmas season, and they had all these heavy die-cast cars, old-fashioned cars, a lot of kid stuff. And I tell him, Luke, that was only because it was during Christmas, so you're not going to see anything yet. You're not going to see all those toys at Costco right now. But he's always hopeful, which you can't blame a kid for being hopeful, right? That's the right mindset to have, is being positive. Being positive, positivity. And yeah, as you could see through that video too, I film everything, man. If you guys and girls are parents, listen, the way I look at it, it's a time capsule, right? Where I'm able to look back at what was happening during such and such point of my life. And I think it's good to have. You guys should do it, and you can see how your kids, have grown and how they have changed over the course of time. Maybe that's just me because I like stuff like that, like video. I like making videos, and by all means, I'm probably not even the greatest at it. Far from it. Don't have the best of cameras. Maybe not even the best storyteller. Not the best of everything, but I just love doing it. It's fun for me. I've been doing YouTube videos and different variations for 11 years already. So something I like doing. But so that's probably why I record a lot of these, moments with my son, and I take a lot of pictures. That's just me. But I would honestly recommend it. Just my thought. It will help you. You look back at something, and even if you don't want to look back at it, it's something that you could give your child and say, hey, these are where our videos are located as you were growing up, to look at down the road when he wants to. In Costco, after I was hurting by not buying that animatronic, and after I spent a ton of money on Costco, and no, I did not get the rotisserie chicken. Everyone goes there for the rotisserie chicken. You see how big that bird is? And I did not get it. Did not get the rotisserie chicken. But what is just as good, I believe it's $1.75. You have one hot dog, a long hot dog, not your regular size hot dog. big hot dog, big ass hot dog, and a soda for $1.75. And you know what? I said to myself, that is what I'm going to get today at Costco to help ease the pain, to help soothe the pain. And I got it. But my pain came right back, slapped me in the face. Because remind you, I told you I came to Costco later on in the evening, pretty much right near close time, a little bit before close time. After I'd purchased my hot dog and my soda, when I asked for my condiments, they no longer had any condiments available. So my hot dog was a plain hot dog. And that is, my friends, a sin. One last thing that I want to share with you guys, as far as dad life, and we'll get into the funnies after this story, and I'm like all behind this. I had a Michael Myers. We had this event. Our community here had an event where it was called the Haunt and Treat. Pretty much what you're doing is you pay in advance, and it's held outside. You paid in advance. I believe, I forget how much it was. Nothing absurd. And you'll walk in down the strip and then back up again of the neighborhood. And the vendors are local businesses, and they give out candy. So that was cool. My kid this year has the great opportunity where he is being two things. He has two costumes for Halloween, and 3 events where he can wear his 2 costumes. So we have the Haunt and Treat. We're gonna have and we're gonna have a parade next week, and then this coming week, and then you have trick or treating. But on to my Haunt and Treat here. The kid loved it. I wasn't able to participate. Only the kids were able to receive snacks from the vendors as they were walking up and down the strip there. But let me tell you, my Michael Myers mask was an absolute hit. I had a couple of kids there that wanted to take a picture of me in my mask of Michael Myers. A couple of kids said, "Oh, that's Michael Myers." A couple of parents gave me a thumbs up. I was a hit. I was wearing the mask with the hoodie up and in jeans. So it's not the traditional Michael Myers outfit, but damn, I look good. And I was telling my kid, you know what? I should, when the trick-or-treaters come at night, I should be on the balcony in my Michael Myers, with my Michael Myers mask on, with the light on. Just stay there still and just have some fun and have some reactions there as well. I'm sure there will be quite the reaction from the kiddies, mostly scared. But yeah, no, I was happy that I got some attention, and that mask, and that was that's all I had. It was the mask. That mask was like, like a $10 mask. It wasn't anything special at all. So I'm glad that the mask was a hit, so to speak, right? So we were doing all that, Want to take a quick little time out as we transition as we transition um, from this part of the program into the funnies. We're transitioning from dad life video stories to the funnies, and I want to leave you off with a video that would be suitable for that, for a quick little timeout. We're going to take it from the Gres channel. That's GRES. If this is your first time on the channel, happen to stumble upon it by the live stream, give me a follow, please. Where have you been? We have fun at this channel here. We don't take everything so seriously. It's it's a good time. It's a fun place, and I hope to do this very often. Get this as a weekly occurrence. Let me show you a video about Nathan's famous hot dogs. Let's see how we're going to do this, because this is all about visual, obviously, while I take a break here. Let's see. Here we go.
Now, full disclosure, if you're looking for a bargain, then, well,
It's not working, is it?
not, at least not this particular
It's about the visuals.
ranch, or rather, store. You all
Well, maybe the visual. Well, let me tell you about. Actually, there is some storytelling in my videos, and have an idea here. Let's actually give you an old episode from Live with Gres. How about that? And I'll join you back in a couple of minutos. Hold on.
Had their Sunday in 2 weeks or so. What's going on? A lot, and I don't know how much circumstance. All good. Not here to judge. On Live with Gres. February. The month of love. What's the difference between me and a calendar? A calendar has dates. Maybe you wrote that to yourself. Who knows? And that's all good. It's all good. I wanted to make it really special on Valentine's Day. So I tied my boyfriend up, or girlfriend. And for 3 solid hours, I watched whatever I wanted on TV. Happy Valentine's Day. Today is Valentine's Day, folks, guys and gals, or as us men sometimes like to refer it as, Extortion Day. And well, I cannot take credit for that. That is the great Jay Leno that once said that. was to it, and I think that's I think it goes without saying that the restaurants, I think they charge a little bit more on Valentine's Day, and that's I think I'm not 100%. I think you notice a slight difference, but the way things have been this year, I think if it's a little bit more than what we.
Boom. We're back. And as you could notice, that was just a little sampling, a little smidget of how a gres live with gres is all about, and that you could find that on my prior uploads. It was actually a Valentine's Day special, talking about Valentine's Day on Live with Gres. So, Facebook, I don't know if you guys have heard, is getting a makeover. Facebook, giant social media platform, I still use it, is planning a rebrand. And new name. Not gonna be called Facebook. They're gonna call it completely something else, something different. Now the question I have for you, and you're welcome to play along at home, and I'll throw some out there as well for you, little ha-has. They're planning a new name. Now what should they call it? What should they call the new Facebook? Cancel Culture Headquarters. Or you can have it called the Keyboard Gangsters Social Club. Maybe believe what we want you to. Maybe Facebook will now be called Messbook. So much drama always on Facebook, right? So maybe it will be whose feelings were hurt. Censorship. And you could put a little boat emoji on there. Note apps. NOTEAPPS. Note apps. Or you don't want to go to Facebook jail when you're writing the suggestion to Facebook. So you don't want to use potty mouth, potty language. You could write, and possibly you might think to yourself, poop emoji show. Poop emoji show. Vaseline. Well, why Vaseline? Because if they're going to be all up in my business, at least it shouldn't hurt. Right? A little Vaseline helps cure everything. Open Book is another good name, since people share their entire lives on there, from everything from what they're eating to what they're cooking to what they're doing on every waking minute of the day. Or constant advertising. Open Book. Fake book. Fake book. So many fake accounts. MySpace 2. The Return of Tom. Maybe even ban book. Since they're always banning people for years, old stuff. Likes or death. The new Facebook name. Nosy News. Well, we see all network. Better than Facebook, right? Facelift a book. Face look. A little social media. Dramaville, the new Facebook name. Snitch book, because everyone likes to snitch. And what's the old saying goes? Snitches get. You know the rest. Fake book, since there's a lot of drama, a lot of fakeness. Fake book. You wonder if. How many fake profiles are there just spying on people? Or have we ever met? Spam book is also a great name. What would you call the new Facebook? Honestly, that's the only one I really use is Facebook. Instagram I have. I can't even get into Instagram. Snapchat, I find myself going down a whirlwind, like a deep rabbit hole. I could see myself there. I do not want to go there. So we avoid that. Twitter, very sparsely, very here and there. Probably go on that more than I do Instagram or any of these other things that are out there. So let's read you a article. Read you an article about a trail that caught man's illicit horseplay. Well, actually, hold that thought as as article is not loading here. But Thanksgiving is coming up, right? Sometimes, even though it's like October, and then we kind of skip over October. I mean, then it's like as soon as October is over, people already are into Christmas, but we kind of sometimes glance over or we miss Thanksgiving. So let's play along at home. How about ruin Thanksgiving in 4 words. Ruin Thanksgiving coming up, and you're welcome in advance. Ruin Thanksgiving in 4 words. Can I go first? I'll go first. Your mother is here. Yeah. Vegetarian Thanksgiving this year. That's gonna definitely ruin Thanksgiving for you. Vegetarian Thanksgiving this year. Oh boy. Our family is unvaccinated. Relax, nothing, political here. I come in no harm. My mom's was better. Ain't got no turkey. The garbage disposal is plugged. Ruin Thanksgiving in 4 words. You're welcome. Bring your vaccine card. Oh, they're big on the vaccines. I lost my Band-Aid. That bird's still breeding. They're still here. Ruined Thanksgiving. Your ex is coming. The oven stopped working. The turkey is still frozen. Your gravy has lumps. Or there is no gravy, even worse. Time to do dishes. Ruin Thanksgiving in 4 words. Or here's my Amway catalog. We all have COVID. The turkey went foul. I forgot the pies. Tofu turkey this year. The toilet is broke. Out of line. Cousin Eddie has just arrived. And that was Ruined Thanksgiving in 4 words. I hope you had fun with that activity. Rats. Rattiest cities in the U.S. Chicago, Los Angeles, New York City. Pest Control Company Orkin released its annual rankings of the top 50th rattiest cities. And New York made the top 3. So if you're ever coming to New York, according to Orkin, as urban residents started to return to their city homes after the mass exodus following the outbreak of COVID-19 in March of 2020, so did the rat population. But Chicago is the rattiest city. New York third. 3rd. Our rats, if you ever been to New York City, our rats, they look like cats. Dude, if you get one rat and you can't catch that that thing in a timely manner, you better be careful because somehow, and you wonder this, somehow, some way, that rat is gonna find another Mrs. Rat. So all I'll tell you is if you have a rat in the house, you have to make sure that you catch that rat as soon as humanly possible before they start multiplying. Because then at that point you will absolutely never catch that rat before it mates. And once it mates, once you have one, you have two, you have three, you have four, and it's just a vicious cycle. So try to correct that as soon as humanly possible. We're approaching 1:20 in the morning, and I think that will do it. That will wrap it up for Live with Gres. I hope you had fun. I hope you are able to subscribe. We will do this every week. The days could vary. Maybe Sunday, maybe a Tuesday. It will vary. But subscribe, hit the notification bell. That way you know when it's coming up. A lot of good videos coming up soon. You should see the next one on Friday, Saturday. Check out Eddie Money. Check out my previous videos. Any questions, please do let me know. And I hope all is well. And I look forward to speaking to you guys